everyone, Sandro Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in this video we are doing the Union Arena gameplay videos from the locals this past weekend for November, the first week of November, and in the finals we do have the blue Attack on Titan Levi player once again showing up on the feed, and then a red Kenshin player. This is our weekly red Kenshin player. I do think that he plans on taking Kenshin to the regionals coming up in Orlando, right? So both of these players making it to round 4. I do know the previous round the Kenshin player was paired down, so luckily he did win. So that way we got to have four rounds at our locals this weekend. So in this first game, I will tell you the quality is a lot lower and the camera got messed up, so we're not going to be able to see a ton of their plays. But in the second game, it does get fixed. So I'll try to commentate as much as I can see here. I think the first two cards they played down, we were not able to see on the left side of the board with them not having them in there. But it is nice to see they both do have plays. I think that sees us having the Kenshin player able to put something on the front line, which will let them be able to aggro out, right? I will say in this run of the tournament, we have seen the Levi player. I did post his list in the previous video in the comments below if you're curious about his list for this deck, because he has seen a lot of really good lines throughout the whole tournament. So his ratios, I feel like, are probably pretty good because it's definitely the most consistent I've seen a Levi deck get piloted in a tournament. He's been popping off on people, getting those big plays where he can punish the board states that people put up and then also go in for those 5 checks. Now, definitely very fortunate on some of the life instances in a couple of games, but if you play best 2 out of 3 and you're managed to go through all those games, I think that the gameplay does matter a lot better than a random game of life and, you know, maybe in your favor big time, right? But getting a check in here, it is just the Irwin in life. I think that's just the draw trigger. I could be mistaken on that. We do know that he is AP drawing here. I think he still has a character on the far right, choosing to restand with the made Levi. Final, moving up, or playing down another Levi on the back line, playing something on the far right here, like which we can't see once again. Sorry about this first video. The second, third ones I think are a lot better on here. Is just going to see a special and then going to pass the turn. Not able to swing with the body he played on the front line. That is on the far right. There is something there. We just don't know what it is. But he did see a special. I think using these specials early against Kenshin is a really great way to try and stifle what they're doing. Even if it's not a big time target like the Impact Kenshin or anything like that, I still think that, you know, just trying to put Kenshin in a state where they're not able to get in a ton of early free swings on you in a game. I think he did just get the add to hand, raid target, and then another special, killing the other character on the other side of the board. So he did just move his Kenshin. It's unfortunate they're both moving to the left of the screen here, and so we can't see these cards, but I'm pretty sure he just moved his other Kenshin to the far left to make plays where I think they both play from right to left, so they just push everything to the left, which is just a habit for these players. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? But we do get to at least see them play down the stuff on the right side. Just going to see the Irwin and the Levi on the front line here. Also, sorry about the glare on these first games. I promise the second game does get way better about the glare here. But choosing to use effect here, probably going to try to get in 2 swings. I think he still does have a character on the far right. Looks like he is tapping to swing down here using the AP on that one. Just going to ask him what to draw. There's no reason to take that check here. You rather just keep the body. Is going to get the draw off the swing and just another Kenshin to the hand on there. So 3 bodies up for the Levi player. The Kenshin player probably is going to have to see the pushback Kenshin and the double attacker on this turn, or at least a special if they want to try to answer this board and get the tempo and number of bodies on the board back in their favor, right? Just playing a Kenshin back on here, able to search. We're not seeing what he grabs here. Does see the special, which does help out a lot. Like I said, he's going to have to see something like that. And if he could just see the pushback Kenshin, this would help him out a lot as well. He is choosing to push back, I think, the character on the far bottom of the screen that we can't see. And then I think the other player is just choosing to replace it with the character on the far right that he is generating energy down on that line. Looks like they're thinking and talking about here. He does just take a swing, and it is just a Levi in life. Another swing. We at least get to see the cards when they send them to the sideline, right? So we don't get to see them when they trigger, but no trigger on the last one there. And I think he's a little behind here. He's going to have to pop off with the multi-swing 5-drop Levi this turn. I think, to try to get back in this game. He does see the Irwin, so it does put him at least 5 energy, assuming the card on the bottom far right of his screen, or the bottom far right part of the screen is the at least something that generates the energy, which it almost certainly is. He's just picking up the card to look at what he can do here, probably realizing that he's going to get beat up here. As long as the Levi player does have the Ray Levi in hand, he should be okay here. Using the Irwin effect here. Getting the restand, once again, seeing that extender. 2 extenders already in this game, definitely helping him keep pace in here. He does see the Levi. Perfect timing for this card to come down. He's going to be able to clear some bodies. And another Levi coming down. So that's 4 bodies. He gets the negative BP on there. He does get to use the Irwin to get the action points back, which is definitely a perfect combo you want to see in the deck. Using the action point to pop the other Kenshin that he reduced down. Just getting a Kaoru in life here. Swinging with this other Levi, using the AP to restand. He has so many cards. I think this is the trash he's looking through. Trying to decide if he wants to block this one, because if you don't block it, I think that you had to get like an active trigger or something, which he did. Oh, wow, that's a big plus for him there. Being able to boost up the Kenshin on the active trigger. Wow, that was a very fortunate, lucky check there to try to help keep him in this game. He's just explaining the effects here about he's already paid the AP, used the effect to swing in, trying to figure out the difference in the BP here. Gonna have to take this check. It is just another Kenshin, nothing to get off of this one. Does get to restand, swing with the card on the bottom of the screen that we cannot see here. Just gonna be a Kaoru in life. I guess that wasn't an active trigger. I thought it was. I guess it wasn't an active trigger. Maybe I was wrong about it. Choose to block out. Was that a final in life? I can't stop the recording while I'm doing this, so I can't tell. I think that was a final, maybe. He's going to use a special here, play down the double action point, extender to restand. Gonna go with the Kenshin coming down here. Able to pay AP, playing a little faster now, getting to restand the Kenshin by tossing the card. I do think that at this point, you just block, right? There's no reason not to block these. You're going to be able to move everything back to your energy line and then crack back on the Kenshin player in the following turn, right? So I think you just take these hits, get pushed back, and then crack back on them. I think he's just probably trying to decide like which swing he wants to take, if it's beneficial to take this one or the next one. He does. He just take the life. Nothing in life here to save him, but going to take the next life to be able to get a... Oh, he got a final also. They both hit finals. Wow. Coming in clutch there to be able to give him a chance to now come back and just win the game, right? Just push it all up. You got the character on the bottom part of the screen that we cannot see at the moment. He can probably try to play something else out down on the bottom just to make sure if there is any instance of... We've already seen him use 2 extenders and have that final on the last one, right? So just going to push up, make the energy line stable, so that way if anything, you know, I do agree with just playing it out. Make sure you play your outs. You want to play the cards down. Going to get the AP back from the Levi. Use these APs for the Levi effects to be able to get some value, and then nothing in life there. So a very back and forth game one. Really exciting game. Levi taking the first game in the finals of our locals. And you can see here, got the camera fixed now. Can see all their life cards. Can see everything perfectly, so this one be a little bit better for y'all to watch, and also for me to be able to see the cards to commentate better. So we are seeing both players be able to start down with some 0 drops. The Kenshin player getting one of the good Kenshins down early does also help. I think going in first in Kenshin is what most people do pick to do, because you do just want to apply as much pressure as possible. Put your opponent in a horrible state of the game where they just feel like they're always trying to find some way to get back in the game. And I think going first with Red Kenshin, in my opinion, is exactly what you want to do, so that way you can just keep putting pressure on your opponent, especially with these early swings. And as long as you don't get you know, hit in life with like a color trigger or something like that. So now you don't have a blocker. You're going to have to pay another AP to play this Kenshin back down. And if this Levi player can see how he's been seeing in a lot of these other games, he could really take over. Having to trash the made Levi there isn't great, to be completely honest. That doesn't feel good. So he is just setting up the energy line and setting up the front line with a body. Unfortunate that he was not able to come down and get a lot of pressure out, but he did fill up his energy line, which I think is probably a misplay here, because you don't want to give the Kenshin player any kind of value on being able to push back one of your characters and then have to replace something on the energy line. So in the thought of playing against Kenshin, right, I think the right play is probably to push something up on your front line. because you do have the double energy generator, and you don't want to miss losing out on a body particularly. So hopefully he doesn't get punished by the move Kenshin here, but if he does, it's going to feel really bad, and that is exactly what happens here, and exactly why he should have put something on the front line, right? I think that definitely would have been the right play, regardless of what he has in the hand. That way he's not losing two bodies that he paid two AP for, right? And the Kenshin's just one. So in that sense, you're down an AP and a body off of the one Kenshin play. So definitely something to think about when you go play against Kenshins, is you want to leave up that spot, so that way you don't feel like you're getting two bodies taken out for the cost of one. Now he does see the made Levi, which explains why he did trash the other Levi earlier from his hand, and he does have a lot of pressure he can put on this turn. Getting the AP back here from the Levi's, swinging in, using the AP to be able to draw a card. I guess he doesn't draw a card, maybe then? Using the other Levi to bounce back the Kenshin, and then just getting in another swing here. So, doesn't have a full energy line, has two bodies, still has 5 life. Unless two Kenshins come down, I think that the Levi player will be in a pretty decent spot. But if they move Kenshin and the double attacker come down, he will be in a world of hurt. The special obviously isn't great either here, getting hit with that, but not the end of the world. You just don't want these Kenshins coming down, putting in work. And it's exactly what's happening here. The special, trashing the card, restand, swinging in here. I think you take the first check in the hopes that you get a active trigger in life. That way you can then block out. Just has a double energy in life, and then 2 of them. Oh, that is very unfortunate. Probably going to see him struggle for energy now this game, right? Because that's already 3 double energies that are in the trash. He is going to AP draw. Going to have to move up this body. He's going to need a special, I think, to keep pace in this game. And probably not even 1, but 2. If he doesn't have at least a special here, I think he just gets outvalued in these upcoming terms. Because you do have to always keep pace with the Kenshins. The made Kenshin here, or the made Levi raid, does help him out. He is able to put some value on negging these bodies on the board. He'll probably get a couple swings in. He does have a free spot on his energy line to be able to block with later, or get pushed back in on one of the Kenshin. Does see a very fortunate active trigger in life, which makes him not have to take a life or a body here. So able to stay up on life from that active trigger, where it should be either a body gone or another life being 3 to 3. So definitely a good check for his in there. Sees another special and another one, the doubles. That's 3 specials in this game. I'm just going to come and say it. If a Kenshin player sees 3 specials in their hand, you lose the game. I don't really care what deck you're in. Obviously, this video is going to keep going on, but I don't see a world where the Levi player could ever hope to come back in this game now. The red Kenshin has a full energy line, has 2 Kenshins on the board. You already saw him play 3 specials from his hand, and these are the type of games where it does feel like red Kenshin is absolutely unbeatable. When they see, you know, their high ends of their plays, specials, and the Kenshins, you really can't outvalue that, because they're just getting rid of so many more bodies and so many more spot removal by pushing stuff back that practically no deck in the game can keep up with if they are running all cylinders. He is going to play it out, try to figure out what he can do here. You know, just move everything up, I guess. Try to put some stuff on the energy line. Draw 1, trash 1 here with the Mikasa. Even could not AP restand at this point, right? He only has 1 energy. Just probably going to try to block out, maybe hope for a couple, I guess, an active trigger and a special trigger in life, or an active and a final. Something like that could kind of keep him back in the game, but at the end of the day, all the Kenshin player needs to see is a pushback Kenshin, and you just don't get to do anything. This is where the active trigger came in pretty clutch for him too, though, right? Because now he would have been down to maybe 1 life or 1 less Kenshin, and that turn probably being a really impactful play in it for here. He does see the AP restand. He does see the Kenshin that gets to come in active and let him fuel his hand a little bit more. Still has 1 AP up here to see if he can play the Kenshin, and he does play the Kenshin down. Able to refuel his hand again, is going to be able to swing in, get that restand on the body. Just the Erwing in the last check there. So we are going to game 3. Levi being able to get stalled out a little bit there. Unfortunate in some of the life triggers, but then the Kenshin player just seeing a god hand. 3 specials in hand in a Kenshin deck. I think That's just ridiculous. It really, really is, with the power level of this deck. Now, in Game 3, hopefully maybe we could see a little bit more of a back and forth. As close as that game was, right, it did not feel that close just because based off the instance of that trigger in life and then the 3 specials. Both players getting down energy play, so really happy to not see either player brick in any of these games to start out with. That would feel really, really bad. And we've been fortunate enough in the locals on these videos, right, to not see anyone brick throughout this whole tournament in the first table, which is exactly what you want to see, right? You want both decks to play to their best abilities in these games and not have to worry about bricking up. So we've been very fortunate this week of not seeing anyone get bricked up here, but definitely doing what the Kenshin player needs to do, playing down the pressure Kenshin. Gonna have a lot of impact on the board. On the turn 2 here, there's not much you can do as the Levi player to hope to answer it. He's only at 2 energy, just getting his energy line set up, and then a blocker on board, which is how you do answer that, right? Like, you want to be able to block, get your character back on the energy line, and thwart some of this damage. So against Kenshin, you really do want to put up bodies on the front line. I know a ton of people, wow, he's really popping off here. He got the Karu, he got the AP restand. Gonna be living the dream here with the active Kenshin to be able to fuel his hand back up, and this is gonna be a lot of damage, to say the least. This is gonna get a little crazy here. Able to fix his hand with the Kenshin. There's going to be a lot of attacks coming through on turn 3, which is a little unfortunate. The Levi player is going to have to hope to find some good things in life here, which he does. He does get the color trigger to bounce the other Kenshin back to the hand, and then just an air wing in life. So the color trigger definitely helping him keep a little bit of pace in this game. I think he's just explaining the effect of that particular Kenshin on the board. But you do have to get agency back in this game. If the Levi player wants to be in this game, he's going to have to see the raid 5-drop Levi or a special, I think, to be able to be put up in the game. Because you've not seen a raid out of the other Kenshin player coming down on that pass turn. So you know he's probably got a couple in his hand. We saw him search for one a second ago. So you really are going to have to not clog up your energy line for one. So hopefully he does raid onto something here. A little unfortunate, he had to play that character down to be able to get the energy to be able to use that special, but now he will be punished for having to do so because the Raid is going to come down and push something to the back line, right? Which means, like I said, and I talked about it before, if you fuel up your energy line against Kenshin and they get the pushback Kenshin, you are losing 2 bodies for the price of 1, and you're also losing that blocker for the turn. So it's just going to go Kenshin on top of Kenshin here. Is going to push back. Like I was saying before, you cannot fill up your energy line, but he had to play the special. But I think in that instance, maybe just take the extra turn, wait to use the special on the following turn. But he does get very, very, very fortunate in life to see a special trigger on top of that color trigger in the last turn. Just seeing the Levi here in life, getting a swing in with the Kenshin and choosing to block back, not wanting to go down to 2 life against the Kenshin player in this game. Now, a lot of ground to make up here. There are 2 Kenshins on the board, but oh my god, he had the AP draw. That is unfortunate. That means his hand is not great. This would have been a great turn to crack back on the Kenshin player, and I think in this game the story has been that the Levi player has not been able to see a double energy generator, which is really, really unfortunate because you do need to be at 5 energy to get those very impactful Levi plays off, and without an AP restand on this turn, we're probably not going to see him do much else other than just try to fill up his board and his energy line. Well, he does see the AP restand, so he's able to extend a little bit this turn, but it's just a special out of life. He had to fill up his energy line once again to be able to play that special. He will get the AP back here. He will be able to put a little pressure on the Kenshin player on this turn, but he has so much life to deal with, and he does have the free block that there is really no threat to him on this particular turn, right? Definitely going to probably be a real rebuild turn for the Kenshin player here, just trying to get another raid body on the board to pressure down your opponent. If he can see the pushback Kenshin again, it's really just going to keep messing up the energy line of the Levi player. Just choosing to special to get the body off the board, and then use his last AP. to probably put something on the front line, I would imagine, so that way he can at least pressure for game. And that's what he's doing, going with the Kenshin, refueling his hand, able to swing in, able to trash. That way he can restand, try to get these 3 checks in, and whatever he does is just going to get through. Just Levi there, nothing going on, swinging with the other Kenshin, having to push back. Last Kenshin coming through here, nothing in life to save him. He doesn't have the energy for a raid anyways. Like I said, once again, still not seeing a double energy generator has been the biggest story in this game. He's AP drawing to try to find it too, because if he could just find a 2 AP generator, he would be doing well. But this is a little bit of a stall out for the Levi player in all the games we see. This is definitely the first one that we've seen him not be able to get the double energy. He does finally see it. It's like 3 turns too late to be able to make a huge impact in this game, because you do need that particular 2 energy to be able to get to the 5 in any instance in this deck with the numbers that you want to run. Getting the Negabody here with the Kenshin player being at 5 life, I think you just get to, you know, not block, take these swings, hope for some good checks, and then on the next turn try to crack back on him and take the game. Gonna swing with the Levi here. I guess debating on if he wants to block, but there's really no issue to block at all. Like any of these swings, just take all the checks, see if you get value, and then, well, I guess he had a free block there. I forgot that Levi's not as strong as the other one. And then just another Karu in life, right? So if he just sees that any raid Kenshin, it's just game here, right? And it's one of the best parts about Kenshin that people don't talk about as much too is how consistent the deck is to keep a full hand. Like, you've not seen him not have any cards in his hand this entire game, because the game is super aggressive, and it also refills its hand, which is 2 of the best things you want to see in making a deck really competitive. Really happy that we got 3 games out of the finals there. I do think that, you know, maybe the first game was a little more back and forth, a little unfortunate on the Levi player to not see the double energy, but he should be really proud, I think, doing so well with Levi in this tournament. I do think that Levi is a really powerful aggro deck, but you can see like that in this last game, it can be really clunky and a little bricky in the sense of trying to keep that going throughout a long tournament, right? Even just in the 4 rounds here, we saw him have, you know, pretty solid hands and ways to play throughout a tournament, you know, 3 rounds even, but even in this 4th round here, we definitely saw an issue that comes along with this deck. And then obviously seeing Kenshin perform is no surprise to anyone. Definitely still one of the best decks, definitely the best deck in the format in my opinion, and I think going forward into tournaments, we will see Kenshin continue to do well, but I do not think, I want to state very clearly, it's not tier 0. Kenshin, yes, is definitely the best deck, but there are decks that do pretty well into Kenshin, and I think that you have to know certain plays when you're going into Kenshin. Try not to fill up your energy line if you can help it. Always get that free block to push back, and don't let the Kenshins pressure you down too much in those games. But these videos are a lot of fun. They are a lot of work though, so these do take a lot of time to do. I appreciate all y'all watching these videos. I know the guys from the shop love to see those, and I'll keep these coming every week. We have tournaments at Omni Card School at One Gaming in Moultrie, Georgia. If you're ever in the area, come and check us out. Our shop is a lot of fun. Really good time up there, good community. But please leave these videos a like. Leave comments down below. I want to know what y'all want to see of these videos more. Give me tips on what y'all want to see, what I can change to do better on these videos, and I will do so. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Peace.